Come on, welcome aboard, everyone. We are here with more Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. Tonight we are coming in with the episode Chal DISovjaj, Part 4. Before we get started, there are, of course, a couple of shoutouts for our fellow streamers on the channel here. Our own Raldar, the ship's engineer, Xyla OXO. There's been an ongoing D&D campaign. If I'm correct, there's been some...
Zinless Zone Zero.
Zenless Zone Zero, thank you. Yeah, how is everything going over on the channel?
Pretty good. Had a collab recently, so that was fun.
Oh yeah, the monster stream, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, all good fun stuff there. And then, of course, our other resident streamer on the channel, playing one Mr. Azek Korg, the OverlandGamer, Joe. How is it going, Joe? Any fun plans for stream stuff or anything else?
I'm doing all right. I'll be kicking up the PC Builder Simulator to start making shorts for my newly minted YouTube channel. I decided that to expand my knowledge or to share my knowledge of QA with the rest of the world, so I created a channel on YouTube called the Quality Joe, the quest for quality, and I'm going to be taking plays of PC Builder Simulator, and making them into short backgrounds so I can talk over it. So we'll be having some fun with that later on.
Well, that'll be really cool. Be sure to send me links for that, because all of them, for those of you watching in the archives, will be able to find the links to the respective Twitch streams and to that in the description of the video. It will, of course, also give you all the other information for social media, Discord, and anything else if you want to keep up to date on developments with the channel here. So yeah, that for those in the live stream, there are of course the commands, so you can have all of what you need there. Okay, so we're going to get things started here on the bridge as we cover our recap. For when last we left off, through this adventure, the Yon has arrived on a pelagic world off the map near the region best known as the Triangle, between the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Star Empire, and the Federation. You are much nearer the Romulan end of it yourselves, though thankfully you've not had to contend with their ilk. What you have had to deal with as you arrived in this planet has been a mystery, for you have been searching for someone at the behest of Tabak, leader of the house, and who had up until recently been serving as the ship's captain, a duty he passed to Azek Korg. The Jan had found signs of this target, this person that they were supposed to find, on the site, on an island, very particularly. And after beaming down, you discovered there were a few Klingons around. There was also a bird of prey that, as you guys later discovered, had been intentionally sunk and just sabotaged so that it could not be reused. What turned out to be the chief engineer did not want that bird of prey being able to leave this planet ever again, and you've gathered that there is some issue, some terrible secret in a brilliant bluish compound, some sort of wispy compound that has engulfed the island that the away teams had been on during the initial, during the evening as it grew further into dusk. Tabak's team had beamed back up aboard the Yon the moment that the wisps began to blow off from virtually every bit of plant life it seemed in the area. You were able to return to the Yon and do so without any sort of contaminant from any wisps that had gotten close to you. DuPont, your transporter officer, has managed to keep that out. What he has not been able to do is to bring back Kelsha and Araldar, who remain on the surface, having only just walked back out from the underwater excursion to the bird of prey. They remain stuck on the planet. It is this knowledge, Tebok, that you and Azakav, the two of you standing on the bridge right now, from what you understand, Traven was was over in the transporter room working with DuPont as well to retrieve a sample from the transporter buffer of these wisps for analysis. I think that is something that I had done in your absence, Sean. You are trying...
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Know thine enemy.
Exactly. And so, you were attempting to basically work out the situation, or you are looking at displays from the... you're looking at displays, seeing that the transporter issues persist as an energy field of some sort appears to interfere with the transporters. You're assessing that, you're keeping your eyes open, and you are feeling the pressure of that need to serve, to complete this mission, when all of your thoughts are interrupted.
Kresik, to the Yan. The ship has been compromised. I have sealed off our medical facilities from external and internal additional contamination. But I do not know how long we have within here. I will do what I can from here. Everyone else, if there is an environmental suit available, wear it.
Once the audio cuts out, Vopry checks internal sensors. Captain, internal sensor readouts show sick bay has just isolated. Environmental systems and doors have sealed. Anything short of command override will not allow entry.
Entry into sickbay, or...
Yes, yes, that is right, Lord Tabok.
Tabok to Kresik.
Yes.
Explain yourself. What contagion?
I am not sure yet, but the other Gorn, the mutated one, came in, vomited upon the floor, and something entered the chambers.
He vomited and something alive came out?
Something glowing.
Good.
You'd hear Azek in the background. And I just polished these shoes, too.
Oh, wait, Azek is not in the bridge there. That is a
No,
continuity error.
I'm in sick bay.
That's right. Oh, wait, the other Azek was back for a moment.
Whoops. Now he's not another new puddle of tapioca.
Yeah,
Yay, tapioca!
The one-armed man bursts in a poof of continuity error. The faint, my bad.
Fine. All hands, put on emergency pressure suits now.
I will continue to diagnose this from here as long as I am able, but I do not know what form that will take or what the end state of this contaminant is.
Did it get into the life support system?
I do not believe so, but as a precaution, I would recommend measures be taken until it can be confirmed.
Understood. Vopri, have we gotten a reply from everybody on board ship? Are they all in suits like we should be doing right now ourselves?
The I have not yet received confirmation from the lower decks where Hemok and the other Klingon hired hands that warriors are. I will try
Well,
to
good. Get in your own suit, Vopri. Everybody here, get emergency suit. Get in it now.
Okay.
I think we have one your size, Vopri.
Triple XL.
There,
I just want him to walk around with floppy arms.
Floppy legs.
Floppy
Azek, Azek would have made sure that he would have had proper
Which Azek?
safety there. This one.
What were you saying, sweetie?
is there a comm station in the transporter room?
There's comm stations all over the ship.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
As a matter of fact, as everyone in the bridge is getting their suits on, we momentarily cut down to the corridor outside of sickbay, where Traven, you stand with a sample and a medical canister immediately on hand that you are hoping to bring down to the medical bay in order to analyze this. The door was not responding as you were as you tried to press for it to open, and shortly afterwards you received pretty much an immediate answer as to why that is, with the doctor establishing the basically breach of quarantine that has occurred, or that the ship has been exposed to.
The establishment of quarantine.
Yes. He is correct. So you have been privy to all of this. There is a communications panel tied in with that door control, so you could signal somewhere in the ship if you so wished. Or you
I'm
could
gonna.
just... Go ahead.
What? I'm gonna hit the button, and first I'm gonna connect to DuPont.
All right, you press the button on the door, and after a momentary buzz, the transporter room answers. Transporter room, yes, hello.
DuPont, it's Craven. I'm sure you heard the quarantine.
Yes.
Is your body going to be fine? I don't think we have a suit for you.
I would like to think that that the good captain thought of me on supplying this. I just need to double check my own little cubby hole. At the very least, I might have some sort of mask if this is an environmental contaminant. Although I don't know how much that would do for. Well, I mean, my fur could keep things relatively constrained. I'm checking on it right now. But thus far, environmental sensors don't seem to be triggering any alerts outside of sickbay, so we should be okay. There wasn't a problem with the canister, was there?
No, the canister's fine. Once I'm done here, I'll connect to Kresic and see if I can get in, so I can use the facilities to try and figure out what this is.
Oh, have you already got your suit on, then?
No, not yet.
Well, don't neglect yourself there, Mr. Traven. I would be most appalled if one of our finest crew members, our best chef, and all the like would be so affected.
I'm going to talk with Kresic and see what he knows about the organism so far. If it has any resemblance to a parasitic type of organism, I should be immune.
Oh, really? If that's the case, that'd be great news. Let me get off the comm line. I'm wasting your time here. I should try to get the. Maybe I shouldn't try to get them back. Not yet, anyway. I will consult with the bridge. See if the captain has any thoughts. Good old Azek.
Raven out.
With that, you have the opportunity to switch over the intercoms, which I'll just presume you go right for, and with another press, there's a buzz at the door. Kresic.
What?
It's Craven. I have it in the canister now. What do you know about the organism so far?
Nothing yet. It literally happened 5 seconds ago. Well, maybe perhaps a minute ago now. 5 Gorn seconds. I am still running preliminary examinations. I know nothing yet.
Well, let me know what you find. If it has any parasitic makeup, I should be able to walk through the door fine.
You would be able to enter, but the moment the door opens, contamination spreads to the ship.
What about transporter?
I doubt this ship has sufficient technology for site-to-site transport. Only Gorn ships are so advanced.
Any suggestion of where I could go to do tests on this sample?
I used one of the cargo bays early as an extended triage facility. Some of my parts may still be in there. It would be the best option you have available.
Is our resident cargo bay Klingon still in there?
I do not know. I do not care. I have limited time to study this on my end, while you may have more.
Study what you can. I'm gonna make my way to the cargo bay now. If you would be so kind, please connect and tell Hemok to get out of the cargo bay. So that way he doesn't. So in case there is an accident, he won't be affected.
Very well. As once again he hits shipwide comms. The Klingon... Azek. Is it a Klingon?
I'm a Klingon, yeah.
Yes, I know you are. This one that I am supposed to be contacting.
Who are you contacting?
Hemok.
The virus is kind of messing with my head.
Klingon named Kemok. I think it's a Klingon. It sounds like a Klingon name.
Yeah, he's a Klingon.
Okay, good.
Last I checked, you never know. I mean, these days.
This is all being broadcast to the entire ship.
Yes.
The Klingon named Kemok. Get out of the cargo bay.
Wait. What am I supposed to do with all the rest of these guys?
What guys?
Like the dozen dudes I got down here for training and for muscle?
Get them out too. To another cargo bay. There's more than one on this ship.
The other cargo bay is where the big lizard sleeps, and it smells horrible.
Well, it's time for you to clean it out.
That ain't my job.
That could be their job.
Is that you,
though.
Captain?
Maybe.
Am I connected to the comm still too?
You could. I mean, at this point, if you pushed a button, you could get into this, and I'm sure that Tabak is loving all of this.
Tabak has got you know, one arm crossed across his chest, elbow. He's just covering his face, his mouth, so no one can see him trying hard not to laugh.
Yeah, really, at this point, I imagine, unless Hamok has pushed the shipwide button, it is basically Kresik broadcasting shipwide, so everyone's getting the Kresik Azek side of the conversation. Hamok, who has only just woken up when Kresik actually said the bits about him leaving the cargo bay, and thus missing the rest of the context, is like...
Well, the whole conversation would pretty much... Hemok would just be tagging onto the conversation already happening. If it was already set for shipwide broadcast, Hemok doesn't.
Okay, yeah. Then it's rattling around the whole ship. We have Raldor, not Raldor's not.
Oh, there's Raldor on top of the ship with the steel chair.
So many breaches. So
I guess what do we? Should we go to the? Should I? Okay, I'll get everybody out of here. We'll find some place to go. Everybody's, you got half of us still trying to get the suits on.
We'll get the suits on and then get out.
All right, fine. You want to give me some time?
However long it takes. But quickly.
But quickly. Okay, fine.
Kresik
Hurry up, you idiots! Click. Turns off his end of the conversation.
Yep. Traven, just to check before that, did you want to get in on that at all, or were you content to just let that play out?
I will. There's only one thing that'll get a Klingon to go fast, so I say the first 5 people that make it to the mess hall can have 1 glass of my blood wine reserve.
Can't drink it in when we're in the suits.
It's for after.
Oh, for after. Okay.
You might want to have the doc roll a reflex save because he's Azek is making a bolt for the door.
Oh, this Azek is also an alcoholic. Okay.
Good to know that both versions of Azek love bloodline.
Alcohol is kind of a trans-dimensional trait.
Yeah. Let's move on down to the sick bay for a moment. Unless Traven, you want to do anything before we head over to the cargo bay.
I'm walking straight over to the cargo bay.
Gotcha. So, Azek, you are disappointed to find that the door does not open. The voice inside your head also appears to be disappointed. The one very much inside Dar's head as well, it seems, too, as it says, blood wine sounds interesting. Others have tried blood wine. They liked it. We liked it. Do you like blood wine?
Could I roll would it be an insight or control and like maybe command or something to kind of get my instincts in order that somebody else is inside my head, so using my security codes to try to open the door would be a bad idea.
You could... Honestly, I think that you could prefigure that, and that, if you realize that the, I'm just willing to say Azek is probably smart enough to, figure that out. But I suppose I could give you the, if you think that Azek might have an impulse control issue in this state, then we could give you a control plus command check. But
I would, just for story-wise, I think it would fit with the current situation.
I will set the difficulty to 1, however. So, that's all you need to beat. And that is 1 success. So, it occurs to you that there is something else going on. It is possible that your mind is not entirely your own for reasons you don't fully understand. But the when the thought of your command codes comes up for a moment, you hush it away, you shove it down as far as you can, and keep yourself restrained, as though some sort of tab is like, well, I feel there's secret. We feel there's secrets there. It's okay. We only need the stories you want to share. Or does it want the stories you need to share? Language is so confusing. It is almost not words that you are kind of getting this. These are as much things that in your mind are being put to some abstract qualities, or you are lightly feeling the emotions of this in this process. The voice turns its attention, although you can still hear it, Azek, to Dar at this point. What about you? Do you like blood wine?
Out of character question. How much has he even had blood wine?
Raldar, has Dar been given any blood wine?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not yet.
He's kept
He's
him
not
up.
21.
He can't hold a cup. He hasn't learned how to hold a cup right.
Yeah. He's
He has a
presently
bucket.
he's on the Kresic diet of clean water.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't call blood clean, but water, but you know.
And as many hamsters as he can get.
No.
Oh, boo! All right.
I'm sorry, I just envisioned V. So, you know,
That
if you remember the scene where they, one of the visitors
Yes.
ate a guinea pig.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
okay, I'll accept the
I'm old,
reference,
sorry.
but that also hurts a little bit, so I'm taking a threat.
I love V.
I'm old, sorry.
In response to that question, Dar just kind of only have had virgin blood wine. No real blood or wine.
Well,
And yes, he can talk better now.
You talk pretty one day.
Others have had blood wine before. The voice seems to say, "Would you like that? Would you like that story?"
Yes.
Dar, Azek, the two of you feel the immediate sensation of standing with your fellow warriors over a roaring fire, mugs in your hand, joined in song, guzzling down blood wine, the taste of it, the sensation of it going, like, as you swallow it, all extremely visceral. It's nice and warm. This is maybe not the best vintage, but it's, like, decent enough, especially when you are having fun after, or, like, when you are celebrating after such a glorious victory. Oh, the House of Kurath has never truly won such great glories, and even more are to come.
I start singing a Klingon sea shanty type thing.
Yep. Kresik, as you hear Azek beginning to pipe up with some song, the patient that you have in the biobed is kind of like rocking his head back and forth, joyously singing along with him.
Can Dar walk over to Krezik because he sees him as a Klingon who's also dancing and kind of sway with him?
You are welcome to it. You're welcome to
He's
try.
All
ignoring
right.
all of this from the fun perspective. He's ignoring all of this.
I throw my big old meaty claw around your shoulders and sway with you really hard, Krezik. Back and forth. Humming along to whatever the heck Azek is singing.
Azek, you, as he just kind of like jabs a finger at Dar. And what was your name?
Dar.
Not you.
The warrior looks confused for a moment. My name was Dar?
No.
No.
Your name. Speak to me. Talk to me. Stay focused on what is happening here.
Oh, my name was Malkar, son of Kuruv.
Malkar, Azik, you. Talk to me. Tell me what is happening. Tell me everything. Spare no detail.
Tell him the stories, the voice says. Tell him all your stories, if you're okay with that.
Can I sing the stories to him?
And you are welcome to try and impart that if you would like. Whether you actually go for verse is entirely up to you.
There's something in my head, and it speaks to me like a glorious god of the Klingon pantheon. Drink up, drink up, drink up.
I love it.
That was so good.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you, Azik. Meanwhile, I am starting to get scans and trying to piece together information from those scans.
Give me a reason plus medicine roll. I'm going to call the difficulty on this task. Let's see. Since you're still a bit early in understanding it, let's call it a difficulty 4 task. You do still have some momentum left from the last session.
Can I have one?
You may.
Thank you.
Count there.
Would one of my focuses apply?
You're bound to have something here.
Personal combat?
Yeah,
Perfect. And you said reason and medicine?
correct.
Beautiful.
Pulling in that augmented ability.
Beautiful. Increasing complication range by 2. You want to spend any threat to increase that complication range anymore, GM?
Oh, I suppose just a little bit as a treat. Let's bring that up to 2.
Just one more?
Yeah, I suppose since it's buying the 4th die, I will work in your favor. I will accept that.
Because right now, my complication range is 3.
I was
That's what I'm
raising it
asking.
to 3. That is rather to say.
I'm already at 3, just from using my augmented ability.
Oh, well. In that case, I will. I thought it was only going to be 2. Huh.
No, it increases the complication range by 2.
I see. I will raise it to 4.
Beautiful.
Now I'll just let the 2 threat drop for that.
Okay.
And Joe, you can ignore the momentum steal request, but if you could drop a point there, as you are still holding the bag.
Yep, got it.
Thank you.
Had to get some water because that kind of hurt my throat.
That's quite all right. We are ever blessed by your musical stylings, and I say that with the utmost sincerity. So, with all of that said, Kresic, your scans over the 3 of them as the Klingon on the bed joins Azik in a round with the next verses. Seems to indicate that there are signs of a growing energy field and like some sort of traces of biological mass of foreign material, particularly what you guess from the sample on the ground that Dar has left. It appears to be some sort of, well, you're not entirely sure. It kind of slightly resembles a fungus, but it's not a precise analog, or there must be some sort of divergent evolution here, because it's not quite like anything that even in your time that you've seen. It appears to an extent to be there are signs of it beginning to propagate in their blood, in everyone's bloodstream here, and there are concentrations that are particularly developing around around the brains, and like occupying very close space to the prefrontal cortex. It's dispersed enough that it shouldn't create any sort of pressure necessarily, or like it wouldn't do anything to where it would be like pressing down on parts of the brain and, creating any complications from increased pressure. But there's definitely some interaction between this unusual organism and the energy field. It seems that it is some variation on a bioelectric field that you've never encountered before. Now, beyond that, there's a lot of it would be more conjecture. I think that it's safe to say with that scan as well, there are increased signs of like endorphins being generated, or like a very steady stream of whatever analog chemicals would apply to basically, at points instill joy or something of the sort. But this, thus far, seems to be those are the main effects that you've noticed, basically.
Gotcha. So that was a total of 7 successes.
Oh, right, because
so
it doubles.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So Joe, you can pick up 3 momentum. Question. I have diagnostic expertise, which says that when I succeed a medicine task to diagnose or identify the nature of a medical problem, I gain 1 momentum for every additional d20 I bought, which can be used to obtain information.
It definitely
Should
applies.
this apply? Okay, so I'd like to spend that to obtain information. So basically, it's a... First of all, let me just go off of the information that we have, that I was given. Biological in nature, it seems. Interacting with as some sort of neural interface. Would that be correct?
Yes, so far so good with it.
Okay. My question would be, based off of what I know of how brains work and how neural pathways function, how long until this becomes damaging, and will it become damaging? Or will it become damaging?
Well, that would be harder to say for certain, although, as you understand it, the away team had... the landing party had come up from the surface, and I think that word would have reached you that you actually already knew there have been Klingons on that island for some time at this point, at least a few days. And you have, besides the one person who died from other causes, it does not seem like there's no observable reason, there's nothing to suggest that they are in any sort of danger or that there's any track. But you are... It will take some time for you to work up basically a model to suggest how long it would take to progress if it becomes that sort of lethal. That being said, you do have the ability to work out from the models your own case, because you have also been exposed, and based on the successful check above board that you had last time, you can see that it is progressing in your own case as well. You might be I would give you that you at least have through the rest of this scene before you start feeling whatever effects these guys are dealing with. You might be able to devise an agent to slow it down slightly. But it wouldn't... Like, it will take more time if this is something that can be cured to develop something there. So this isn't going to help the rest of them that have been exposed.
Gotcha. So I would start working on synthesizing something to slow down my interaction.
Yep.
With
I would say that I can either give you a task to roll, something in the order of a control and medicine type roll, and it could be assisted by the ship, or you can just buy the advantage outright.
Well, what would y'all... Actually, you know what? I'm going to roll it.
Okay. We'll call this a difficulty of 2 for the roll here.
And you said the ship can help?
Yes. To help you synthesize it, I think that computers and medicine would apply.
Can I take another point of momentum to get a third die?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? Take another 2 to get another die.
Well, it's already...
Oh, I'm good. I already rolled it.
Because the ship needs a 7.
It's
to
fine.
help.
I have cautious medicine, so I'm going to reroll. Oh, wow, the ship rolled good.
A success.
But I have cautious medicine, so I'm going to reroll one of those zeros.
Very good.
Okay, that didn't... My God. The
Okay.
rolls be high, but it's enough.
Yep. In your estimation, as you anxiously stand over the system you have to engineer like some basically chemical reagents in such a manner, it's a few moments of waiting and hoping that you get it fast enough. Thankfully, the dispenser provides you what you need, and you are able to swiftly inject yourself. Unfortunately, this task, with the success here, this will slow it down and it will give you another scene. So basically, after we finish this one, you would have another scene's worth of time where you could do that. You might be able to... I'll set the condition that you can prolong that with additional doses, but at the cost of a point of momentum every time that would come up.
Gotcha.
So you're momentarily secured from this as the music swells in the other room, and now Azek and Dar are once again like metal arm and scaly claw together, swaying back and forth in brilliant song. Whatever this is, at least they're getting some enjoyment out of it. Also,
Disgusting.
I've really got
Horrid.
Yep, I've really got to remember to clip Azek's musical number there. That was truly brilliant, Joe.
Dancing is banned.
Just frustrated Dar during doing the Footloose routine later. Or maybe
Oh my
O'Brien.
god.
Or Traven. I could
What about Kresik?
Kresik doesn't dance.
Kresik will learn.
For
to
now.
Kresik does dance, but he used to dance with his wife, but she's dead. So
Okay,
Kresik is
don't make this sad. Don't make this sad.
And I was just gonna make Kresik the John Lithgow villain in this scenario.
Oh my god.
From Footloose, but apparently now tragic backstory. So And I don't remember Footloose well enough to know if John Lithgow's character had a tragic backstory.
God.
I'm old enough to know the reference, not enough to care about it.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's go on from there. Let's see.
I think it's a good place to cut the scene, unless...
Yeah, that was my thinking.
I have one more thing I'd like to say, as I would like to do.
What's that?
An English, a Klingon targ is a soaring soul, as free as a mountain tar. His energetic fist should be ready to resist an honorless world. His nose should pant and his lips should curl. His cheeks should flame and his brow should furl. His bosom should be heave and his heart should glow. And his fist be ever ready for a knockdown blow. There, you can close the scene.
You've not heard Gilbert and Sullivan until you've heard it in the original Klingon. Back down on the surface of the island world, we cut over to, well, I'll momentarily put us on the beach just to get a sense of where we had started off for Raldar and Kelsha. When last we had left them, had been ascending the they had come out from under the water, also in pressure suits, and surrounded by the dazzling blues of a dusky island, surrounded by the glows of wisps that seem to brush around with the winds and float through the air. There'd be, anyone else, I don't necessarily know of Raldar or Kelsha's sensibilities, but some might have found this an enchanting, magical sort of sight. But I could see probably less so in this circumstance, or even without the possible risk of some sort of infection. This isn't this probably doesn't give you the same warm, pleasant feelings. Would that be fair?
Also, doesn't help that we're having to enjoy this in a suit.
Yeah. You're not getting the warm breeze. You're, to the extent that the suit has some sort of refrigeration or circulation, it's probably not quite enough to keep up with. It doesn't completely keep up with any body heat you guys are generating. So I imagine over time the suit gets a bit stuffy. I guess, what's its face? I guess in Aldar's case, maybe that doesn't quite pick up as fast, being a little more cold-blooded, but that's still, it's going to build up. And you've been in the suits for a while, and it's a warm day. It's just, it's not great. But the two of you, in an effort both to understand the mystery, to get to a higher point on the island where the transporter might have an easier time locking on you through the energy field that appears to surround the island, you have been climbing up you've basically been going on a hike. You've identified that there's a path further into the mountain. For everyone's reference, and hopefully it just works this time. Yep, I'm at least seeing it on my screen here.
It works.
Yes. You had started out on this beach location here. You have found a path to the last uninvestigated life sign up in the crater on the mountain here. So that was, as I recall, unless either that recollection is faulty or you wish to make any sort of change, the thought was to basically hike your way up to a path you have found and see who this last life form is. Does that comport with what you had in mind?
Yeah, might as well.
We're gonna sacrifice the lizard to the volcano. Yes.
How dare you? Why do you
It's
think
not
the
personal.
volcano...
It's not
Why-
personal. It's what the volcano wants. Okay.
It
Why
is
would the
so
volcano
personal.
want a lizard? Lizards are a dime a
Just like-
dozen. They would prefer Klingon.
But there's already a Klingon in there, and
Allegedly.
obviously, this curse is still happening. Therefore, we must try the lizard.
Klingon allegedly.
Okay, fair. To the volcano we go.
So you continue your ascent up the mountain pass. By this time, I'd say that like as events are moving forward, and as the ship is as business is going on the ship that you are not privy to, the remainder of the basically. You've had some time to hike up the mountain and have made your way to the made your way just about up to the top of the mountain area. Sorry, apparently I am having just the slightest issues with the words here. Before you guys arrive to the top of the mountain, any thoughts or feelings either of you would share? Complaints about the hike, anything of the sort?
Kelshaw doesn't have any. It's just more like grim determination, business. Get this done, figure this stuff out, get back to the ship.
I don't understand why so many people want to go to the beach.
Yeah, it's
Right? This is intolerable. The sand gets everywhere.
Whoever the captain owed a favor to, they really had to pick the worst place.
Why couldn't they have picked a lava planet? At least those you know are going to kill you.
Didn't have a single normal thing here. Between the fish and the birds and the plants.
She looks behind to make sure there's no fish walking up on her.
You seem to be blissfully free of fish.
The only reason we're still down here is because of some strange cat.
Where did he come from?
I'm not even sure.
It is not becoming to speak of a leader in this way, but I cannot help but question the judgment of those who would let him remain on board this ship.
He started acting a bit different when he got that arm.
He has an arm.
He has another arm now.
What in Grethor is going on? This makes no... There's no logic that... God, I sound like a Vulcan. There is no sense behind this.
As the exchange continues between the two of you, you clear over the ridge and find yourself on either side of basically a sort of rupture in the crater, or like the crater wall, as it were. If this extended out, basically it'd be like a canyon sort of thing, but it's more of a just narrow pass where things are relatively confined. As you make your way around that and over the ridge, you catch sight of a grassy area inside the walls of this cavern. As you know, this volcano has long been dormant, and it seems as though the fertile volcanic soil has long since given bloom to all manner of plant life. Flowers, grass, even trees have had time to establish themselves, all thoroughly covering the area, and all with bits of the errant blue, wispy qualities about, some settled on leaves and flower petals, others floating through the air. Besides yourselves, there appears to be no other animal life immediately present, beyond a lone Klingon warrior, standing in the midst of the crater, twirling his blade around. He carries a batleth, one of a less conventional sort. The blade appears to be multi-pronged at either end, with one blade arcing backwards, a shorter one, a slightly shorter inner blade, and a longer, slightly further out, sort of long form blade, and the center with kind of a almost a meat cleaver like quality. The blade is a little less rounded as well. So for the visual, for any of you that have a semblance of it, or for those whom the description isn't quite working for, this would be the sort of batleth that you would have has only been portrayed to this point in the Kelvin timeline, specifically Into Darkness. It is the variant of batleth that is used by the Klingons there. I am running with, it is simply another variant of batleth that some Klingons use. I would honestly expect, Raldar, you would know that this is a little more frowned upon, or this is in part because it is made so much more excessive beyond the traditional sort, but there are definitely some rogues that would equip themselves this way. But yeah, this man just seems to be performing some sort of bladed equivalent of a mukbara sort of ritual or exercise. Carefully and slowly swinging the blade, gentle twirls, and very telegraphed, very slow motion sort of two-handed swings down. Blows that would be lethal if at proper speed. Just an illustration of form and capability there. Training, pretty much.
My disruptor rifle's out, not pointed at him, but held. And just waiting on Raldar's lead.
Raldar will dart to approach and hold a hand up to get his attention.
As you make your way over, the warrior will pause their exercise, gently set set one end of the blade into the ground, while still holding the handle with one hand, and let the other come to their side and face you. Hello there.
Hello. I am Raldar of the Yon. What are you doing here, warrior?
I am trying to impart a lesson, Raldar of the Yon. There is so much for it to understand about us. About the nature of the elegance, the craft, the skill that goes into the wielding of the batleth. I have gone at great lengths to try and show what it truly means, what it is to wield this blade. I've given it everything simply to help it understand what it means. He struggles for a moment with it. I'm sorry, these qualms are my own, this task is my own. I must face it on my own. You are larger than most warriors I would expect to come here. What is your reason to be?
We are here to investigate a disappearance. And have discovered that this planet has a biological contamination. You seem to have the most wits about you.
Contamination. He looks to the side and looks at his blade. I am sorry, I cannot help you. I know not of any of this. Instead, I am giving every bit of knowledge that I have, every bit of understanding, all my years of training, so that it can know the true value that use this. And there's something does not understand that I cannot. He looks like he struggles with some words here, and closes his eyes tightly for a moment. I am sorry. I have no help for you here, warrior. Perhaps.
Who are you trying to teach?
Don't you hear it?
Hear what?
A momentary pause. Yes, I am explaining the I do not know their story yet. Do you not know? You know the others. You know of one like this one. You know. And just for a moment, his eyes widen as he said, and his hand, his hand kind of droops down at his side and says, "Dar."
Do you know Dar?
That story is familiar. I feel the taste of something in a bucket? Dark room. And there's singing. There's joy. Yes, there are warriors together right now. All is well with Dar. And with the others. What is their names? I know that one, yes. He served with me. He had been with us on the planet. It's good to know that he is safe. But he was not well. He was injured. He suffered greatly. He is being treated. Yes. Helping friends is good. Yes. He just kind of, he pulls into a very broad grin. One where his sharpened teeth show just a bit, and his eyes seem to, or like his eyelids lower just a little bit. This is a man that looks like he has achieved basically a state of zen for a moment, and is like utterly spaced and distracted.
I see. I look back at Telshaw. Just like,
What is going on, sir?
I don't know.
Do I shoot him?
Not yet. Not yet, Ferb.
He seems out of his mind.
But how does he know?
Your friends are well, and my friends are well, he says, starting to speak once again and lifting the blade from the ground. All is well. I must continue. I must show them why we swing the blade. And
before this, why were you here? Why were you here on this world?
As he continues to, twirl the blade one-handed, this a little faster. We came to this world. There was one we thought of our own that had left the ship. The captain was concerned about them. He wanted to do terrible things to him. Why would he do that? Yeah. I do not know his...
A name. Give me a name.
Oh. I'm thinking. Oh, the captain, he heard a name. Chauveau? Or Chauveau? Was that it? Yes. He heard it the other day. He heard it from the warriors that came. He was visited just earlier. Yes, the Koha. And the other strange mix, you could guess some Koha might have been with them as well, though they looked odd. He was not too concerned. He hungered. He needed to partake of that which was given willfully. Yes, the other does not share their story yet. Maybe someday. He looks in your direction, Kelshaw. Do you wish to share your story?
No.
Another time. We have new stories we are learning now. Of Dar and those around. Yes, the Vazik of Kresik. Strange ones they are, but exciting stories from the sky beyond. Chal, DISovjaj. Both of you speaking fluent Klingon would recognize a phrase roughly translating to "May we know the sky." A desire, a deep-seated wish. At least how the speech expresses it.
And how long do you intend to stay here?
He stops and says, "So I must teach it what I know. The stories must be understood."
Why? Why must you teach it these things? What has it done for you? What purpose is there behind this foolish waste of time?
He puzzles for a moment, trying to read your words. It's as though, like he cannot comprehend some part of the question.
Are you not a warrior? Does not your blood boil for combat? Is that not what you were born, what you long to do? Not tell stories to some fake creature that has invaded your mind, that is trying to lead you down some path for what?
He pauses and ponders over that. I am a warrior. I have used this blade many a time. I felt joy and rage in its use, and I have done things. I have netted out from those that had not given such. There must be reason behind the stories here. I am not thinking of that. No, that there were reasons at the time. Maybe you will understand if you share in the feeling of the blade. He clutches his head for a moment while still trying to, do a partial swing of the batleth, but it's getting more difficult the more pressure he seems to be under. You do not help them, and you do not help me. So I leave you in your quest here, or you are welcome to. Well, there is a pause because we have an incoming raid from V Ventar. Hey V, good to see you. Thanks for dropping into the stream. We are in the midst of some fun over here, or rather, a Klingon warrior undergoing a very bad headache, apparently. But yes, the warrior shakes his head a bit and takes a neutral starting stance and begins trying to swing again. You cannot understand. You cannot understand what I am doing here and what change that might bring. What one day it might do when it knows.
You are no Klingon. Not any longer.
There's a momentary pause as it draws a glare, and for an instant, it seems to be in a threatening stance. But as they draw the batleth into a ready position, and one that would be the immediate precursor to a charge, the bladed warrior looks almost as if he's forgotten what he is doing. Like, a state of confusion overtakes him.
Your orders, sir?
Leave him. If we battle him now, it'll merely grant him Stovacor, something he does not deserve. Even if he is
Agreed.
lost. Let's see if the transporters are working again.
Hello, transporters.
Cat.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Hello. Yes, sorry there. Just to check, you're still in your environmental suits?
That is correct.
Oh, very good. Just absolutely smashing. This will make things easier when we actually when you get up here. We have a bit of a situation right now. I was admittedly almost thinking it didn't make sense to bring you back up, but probably better while there's still unaffected compartments. Stand by, trying to bring you up here. Would you guys like for DuPont to expend momentum to try and beam up the rest, your remaining crewmates?
I'd say yes.
Okay. How many points of momentum are we opening up? We can give him up to 3 for 2 additional dice.
Well, we really want to bring him back, and he really wants to try to redeem himself, so I'd say max, if everybody else is okay with it.
So we kind of need the crew back.
Yeah, we need the gang back together again.
We need the gang.
Yep. Okay, so you could drop up to 3 points of momentum. If you want a 5th D20, you can always give me 3 points of threat.
No.
Had to try. Alternatively, you could give me 1 point of threat and then just expend the full 5 points of momentum that you have in reserve right now. I should update my counters here. So that's currently.
Nah, it's okay. I dropped 3.
I
dropped 3 in the thing already.
Yep. Okay, so that should be. Yep. Alright, so that puts you at 2 points of momentum. I should actually, for the stream counter, I should be down to 4 points of threat. I have just gone and changed the momentum again, because that's the day we're having. Alright, so that is control plus engineering. It is a difficulty 4 task, because you are beaming from a site without a transporter pad, and there is an ambient energy interference field from whatever bioelectric phenomena is occurring with these things. Would you like to roll that, Joe, being your supporting character, or would you like me to just throw it on out there? I've got the sheet up here.
Oh, you got it. You got it up. Go for it. It'll take a second to get it up.
Alright, I'll go ahead and give that a roll. Transporter focus will come into play. If somebody can grab the ship, that should be sensors plus engineering. And let me make sure.
Aye, coming up.
Okay, and that is 2 successes and 2 complications. Natural 20s on the die. I spent no threat for that whatsoever. That other 0 was a 19.
No help from the ship again.
Let's see.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, Sean.
We can hear you. I'm just.
You're humming and hawing.
Yes, I'm pondering how to deal with this.
Alright, I'm having technical difficulties. I can't hear anybody. I'm going to drop out and come back in.
Sounds like a plan. Which he can't hear. Okay. Joe, this is your supporting character, so I am going to ask. He's your pet, so will we be taking for the complications some combination of a narrative complication, which leaves it in my purview, ignoring 1 or 2 of them and giving me 2 threat per complication. You do have the option of buying one of those complications off, as you still have 2 points of momentum in the pool.
Can I buy one and then give you threat for the other?
That is acceptable.
Okay, so we'll make that happen.
I'll recall the momentum here, spare you from having to do anything there, and I will take 2 points of threat. So, with all that said, that is not enough to succeed. As the transporter beam engages, the curtain of orange and yellow begins to envelop the both of you, and it peters out once again. You find yourselves still in the crater with this Klingon warrior obsessed with showcasing the form of his blade to some unknown onlooker or voice in his voice that seems to otherwise trouble him. I suppose I could, well, let's see. I'm thinking about this here because I have kind of already resolved that, but we could allow for a succeed at cost unless you wanted to try something else or try, like, to press on any other sort of advantage. Or,
I'd say succeed at cost, yeah.
Eldar.
We're tired, alright? We want to go back.
Alright. Well, I think that unless you guys would like to give me the additional bit of threat, I think that the success would come at a narrative complication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Use them.
Yep. So it seems as though nothing is. About to happen, and you're dissatisfied for a moment when your vision is it's firmly enveloped once again in the orange and yellows of the transporter beam, and you find yourselves disappearing from view of the mountains instead. As the curtain melts away and you find that you find you are able to see something beyond the yellows, the golds, and the oranges, and for the record, some brilliant blues in play there as well. You find DuPont, or what appears to be DuPont, your very short feline companion, someone brought on during that strange business in the nebula, in what appears to be some sort of partially rigged up EV suit. Says, there we go. I was able to get it figured out now. Just had to put some extra power in the system and bypass a few of these protocols here. Oh dear. We're gonna have to. Don't be mad. I'm just going to say, I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, scales, or fur, or flesh, or anything of the sort. So I'm just going to say, if the two of you want to leave before I have to close off this compartment, then just brush yourselves off, make sure that you are, your suits are not occupied. Also, don't remove your suits under any circumstance, because the ship is now under quarantine. You realize that it seems a few wisps are floating around in the air with you, and as the complication seems to have been tracked in with the transporter beam. Apparently the buffers were not as successful this time. You are still in your suits, however, so you are shielded from it.
Okay, so use your error. We agree on the cat.
I am sorry. I am doing my best here.
Sir Eldar, has a nice sigh. It's like, let's see what we have to clean this.
So, as Raldar and Kelshaw pull out the cans of compressed air, or you're probably just tuning your disruptors to a low setting and scorching at the outer coating of of your suits. So we'll just go on from there. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's run elsewhere around the ship. At this point, since we've established some time has advanced in the time that you took the hike, I will say that for the record, everyone is in environmental suits, or everyone who hasn't already been exposed at this point. From the bridge, Voprai, Tabok, and the Dr. Chucha, who has come to join you on the bridge as well. The Creole gentleman too has also taken that up. The Klingons in the cargo bay did clear out and found environmental suits, although it sounds like it's been a bit of a mess down there. Chemok did not train all of them in safety procedures, so you understand that while they probably have their suits on and they are probably safe and airtight and not dying immediately, there's something about it seems deeply messy. And then, most crucially, Traven, you have had the opportunity to grab a suit of your own if you went along with that, and you've had the chance to get to the cargo bay and set up your... start rummaging through the pile of equipment that is in the cargo bay, looking for Kressik's parts. I should ask... So I was thinking there'd be at least another scene with Traven here. We could check in with the captain as well. But do any of you guys want a particular scene at the moment, or anyone feeling a particular order before I go ahead?
Question.
Yes.
But I think maybe I need to ask this of you in text, so
you may send that
would
along.
Be more secure, right?
Well,
I had to think about it for a second there.
While you relay that question, let's check in with Traven, who is presently down in the cargo bay. I will presume Tabak is obviously busy on the bridge right now. Would anyone else like to be in the cargo bay with Traven? Well, hearing no other volunteers at the moment, I'll just go into, or we'll put you on your own. Traven, have you bothered to grab an EV suit?
Absolutely. Until I get confirmation from Kresnik that this is or isn't a parasitic disease that's going around, I'm going to use my EV suit just to make sure.
Fair enough. So, as you're there, give me just a quick insight and call this insight in science as you are looking through the... you probably have a manifest, such that this cargo bay has been well organized, and you are looking through to find the surplus equipment that the ship's doctor had alluded to. I'm just going to move this to Theater of the Mind screen for everybody here.
Can I use my chemistry or botany focus to understand which things I need to grab? Which science equipment?
I'll allow for that. The Gorn equipment is different enough, but there are, based on what's on the manifest, and would it be fair to say, Rev, that Kressik would have shared at least a partial list, or for any surplus equipment he had down there, would he have supplied info for a catalog, particularly on the grounds that it isn't sold without his permission, if at all?
Yes, he would have made sure everybody knew about what his parts were.
Good.
Any doctor shit.
Yep.
Mr. GM, that text is sent.
Okay. So then, Traven, go ahead and give me that reason and, or rather, insight plus science roll, if you please. Okay, so yeah, that with a single success, that is enough to be able to make sense of the manifest and open up the requisite crates, where you find some very strange, very gnarly looking equipment. Gorn technology is not something you've worked with before, and I frankly don't. I don't think that you have much awareness of the Gorn at this point. Also, stand by just one moment. I may have lost my microphone. Okay, my headset just cut out for some strange reason for a moment. Yeah.
Mine did that earlier as well. No idea why.
Odd. Yeah. So, Traven, you have some equipment, what appears to be, as close to an analog to a chemistry set, maybe some sophisticated scanners. I feel like to say that the parts have something that could successfully isolate something. I feel like that's almost an opportunity cost, which you have no momentum to buy.
Is there a way for me to keep it in the containment chamber and use the scanners while it's in the chamber?
I think that'd work. You do have a I'd be willing to say that you could probably hook up the the Gorn scanner that you have might be strong. It should be able to scan through the medical grade canister. It's not quite the same thing as if you had like a purpose-built machine that could isolate and actually analyze that. Unless the doctor would like to expend, say, determination or something of the sort to create that advantage, if that was the that's intention. No. Yeah. You've got a sophisticated surplus scanner that is thankfully still in working order. This isn't one of the scrapped scanners.
Start rigging it up and starting scans as soon as possible. There's a comm in everywhere, right?
Yes,
including cargo.
Yes, you can restart the ship-wide chain that you had going earlier, or that everyone else had, and that you narrowly missed out on.
And even Klingon ships would have voice-activated comms. You really don't need to push a button.
What do you mean? Buttons are the height of Gorn technology.
I'm gonna turn on the comms and I'm gonna say, I have made it down to the cargo bay. I have started scan. Please proceed to lock down this cargo bay in case there is any escape from the contaminants. And as a special request, I would like Azik to play something fast and focusful music-wise, so that way I can keep full attention on what I'm doing.
Fast and focusy is what you're looking for?
Sir.
Continue with the scene. I'll come up with something.
I'm going to start getting everything set up, and then whenever you're ready, I'm cool to scan.
Sure thing. So, you were starting to run scans on this. I think that reason and science would be that would be something good to start off with for the trying to understand this entity. I am going to say, well, my thinking would be to give you a roll, setting it to a maximum of 3 for this, for the difficulty. Do you
I'd
have
like to use my. Oh, go ahead.
Do you have any talents that? Well, actually, no. I don't think that. I think it only applies with medicine if you're working with unfamiliar equipment. I won't be cruel in this case and say that the Gorn scanner is a bit too strange for you to work with. Or you've seen other Gorn equipment working, so you've adapted.
Somehow everybody knows how to read everybody else's equipment. Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The parts are strange, but you figure out how to make it work.
That's what she said.
Yep. Anyway. So, reason plus science with a difficulty of 3. You are going to ask a question.
Yes, I would like to use one of my determination to invoke my helping hands value. Because I'm helping Kresik get to the bottom of this.
Okay. You apply your helping hands value as you are trying to assist the doctor, so that will allow you to spend your point of determination. And just to clarify, you're basically trying to analyze and understand the nature of this unusual wisp compound.
I'd like to auto crit.
Okay. Yep.
That's okay. And then you said reason and science. I'm trying to get as many properties and then send over all the information to Kresik
Very good.
to come up with an inoculation. Ooh.
And that is 3 successes on top of your automatic critical success, which means you have a total of 5 successes. Very well done, Traven. So, Traven, from what you see of this wisp, there's nothing quite like it that you had heard of or studied in your own. I wouldn't call your work in science amateur, but like I suspect that becoming as an applicant to receive a symbiote, you had obviously done quite a bit to make yourself a very well-rounded individual, and that you had very extensive scientific study to go with this.
Okay.
Nothing that you took
Not
into
to mention Yeldum.
Yes, and her insights as well. It's nothing that you to the extent that to the extent that you have any sort of relevant experience to this, I would say that this isn't quite like anything that you have seen before. There seem to be elements that most broadly are shared with a fungal entity of sorts. But you haven't seen you might even be vaguely aware that some of them can produce some sort of bioelectric qualities, or at least luminous qualities, but nothing quite like this. It seems as though there is some. It's just a very densely packed sort of roughly fungal analog entity that appears in isolation right now. It just is it's in a relative stasis, releasing low-level energy emissions of some sort, very similar to what you saw on the planet below. From what you understand, it's very likely. Since this thing very clearly has signs of like the plant-based material that it grew from, or like you can identify something with. You can identify signs of the the original sort of parent, or host system that it had previously derived from, you can get an understanding that this thing, it's likely an airborne sort of vector or spread. That would be your guess, due to the relatively light, relative low density of this entity. Getting into some of the medical questions, that would probably require consultation with Kresic there, but you would guess that this entity requires some sort of soft tissue for contact, for some sort of interaction. Basically, the way that a lot of diseases would impact a host. So that's kind of the initial sentiments I have here. I would be willing, since you may not technically be the ship's official sensors officer, but you are a sort of foremost science officer in the lead with this, I'd be prepared to give you a free momentum specifically to obtain information if you want to ask a question. I will also note your auto crit does mean that you had 2 successes above what you needed, so that would be 2 points of momentum for whomever wants to hold on to that.
Does anybody have any suggestions on a question?
Question?
I'm definitely going to use momentum for a question. I just need to figure out what it is. My first thought is, can my symbiote resist this? But if there's another question that y'all think is more important, please, I'd love to do it. Brain's a little mush today.
Is there a specific story it's looking for to let us go?
I don't think we know about that from the scientific side of the study. It's a good question.
Okay.
That's a very good question. But
Yeah. That'd be a good one for our side that's dealing with it. You guys haven't dealt with it yet. So, yeah.
yeah. Keep that one on the back burner,
Yeah.
Azek.
If you guys want to, so as we basically to allow us to flow into the scene here, if you guys want to, have if you guys want a conference call on this, basically, I would be open to that. And maybe a question comes out via roleplay. Would you guys want to say that you're doing that?
I'm so down.
Okay. So yeah. Traven, you set up a line here, and you have the data on your on the Gorn scanner that Kresic has guided you towards. So you have them on the channel. Kresic, as you are doing studies of your own, an incoming comm line comes in from the cargo bay.
Traven.
Doc, I think you'll be impressed with the scans I got. Sending over all the information now.
Good.
It's a low density type of fungal infection.
Yes, it appears to interact with neural pathways. And he's making this the others, and likely soon myself, act odd.
That's concerning.
Indeed. They are singing and speaking to the air. I cannot help but think they are communing with the disease or hallucinating, though body temperatures do not provide any sort of proof of elevated fevers.
Scale of 1 to 10, how dangerous is this at the moment?
No one has died. No one has
Anyone-
acted violently or contrary to their health.
Is it all just random babble, or are they kind of saying the same thing?
Azik was singing.
He has a good voice, but weird time to start. Was anybody else singing?
Not singing, but following along with the music.
I think it's worth noting at this point that everybody in the room who might be overhearing this conversation vaguely remembers the taste of Traven.
What did Draven taste like?
That's as bad as the tapioca Azik. Oh.
Yeah. The Klingon lying in the biobed's like a kind of long targ if I were to put a word to it.
Long targ. I hate that so much, but yes, that makes sense. Big sighs all around. Okay.
Long targ. That's the
long-
motto of this session.
Long targ. I don't like this. All right. At the memory of that long targ tasty goodness, can Dar attempt to head towards Traven?
Is he just trying to walk towards the nearest speaker where a voice is coming from, or is he trying to leave the room?
I guess we'll start with towards the nearest speaker.
Okay, yeah, you are able to get very close to the nearest speaker. There is something in the ceiling, and you are a tall boy, so you could get right up to it.
You just hear in the background of your communication, Traven, me.
Kresik, if Dar gets out of that room, I'm going to be very upset.
Smart-mouthed meat.
Dar has also
Also-
begun speaking much more.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. What's going on there?
I can only assume that the mental stimulation from this fungal infection is increasing his vocabulary in some way.
What if it's not the fungal itself, but because from what I'm seeing, their brains are slightly connected, Raldar is picking up everybody else's speech patterns.
I find that unlikely. I doubt he has the mental capacity for that. He was not created for intelligence. He was created to destroy.
Is Azik Azik is a part of the connection, correct?
He has been infected.
Ask Dar if he wants a Gok pocket.
You just hear Dar go, no! Not another Gok pocket!
Dar, you feel a conflicted sensation over you, because indeed the idea of the Gok pocket, is not broadly well received in the crew, and I don't know if you've actually ever been exposed to it before.
Listen, if Azik's on the ship, he's had a Gok pocket.
Okay.
Dar has been exposed to a Gok pocket.
I think everyone on this ship has been exposed to a Gok pocket.
Not the new crew.
It's the only reason that Traven isn't dead, because the Gok pocket prevent him from fighting down.
That's fair. Way to remember that, the bit of japery. Yeah, Dar and Azik are both having mixed feelings that conflict with their existing sentiments on Gok pockets.
Dar speaks once again to the speaker near him, which is not the same as a communication speaker. Come to the sick bay. We'll be friends.
Do not do that.
Friendship is magic.
You see what I am saying, Traven. This is not according to expected parameters.
I've sent you all the results that I could come up with on the base scan of its genome, what it is, what it's made of. I would suggest now going through the medical side. Just a suggestion, I'm not a doctor, but I would definitely start with brain scans. See if there is a wave that's not supposed to be there.
Agreed. Do you think this infection has spread to any others who are on the surface?
I don't believe so. If they, other than the engineering crew, I know the engineering crew is safe. Their EV suits should have protected them. Anybody else who did not have an EV suit and had contact with people and or the organism, I would say there's a high chance of them being infected.
I see. This is concerning, but not unexpected.
But I can guarantee so far I have not been infected. I'm not getting any of the things you guys are getting. Then again, I never touched anything either, so I think I should be fine. From what I'm seeing, that it needs tissue to spread.
Yeah, that is not how it spread here. It seemed to transfer directly from the bile and spread into air from the air into the other subjects.
Since it is a fungal infection, do you think there is plant life on the surface that might be producing news?
I would not rule it out.
I think worst case scenario, we're gonna have to go down back. If we can't get this fixed, we're gonna have to go back to the surface and find the source. I'll keep sending you information as I get it. If I get any more, I would suggest that you start the medical examinations immediately.
Good. I will do that.
I'll keep my comm line open. Whatever you figure out, let me know.
Understood. Kresic out.
Traven, is there more that you want to do down here right now?
See if I can stimulate it.
Okay. Inside the medical canister, that may be a little more difficult. I don't think there's quite a way to directly affect it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna meditate near it.
Interesting.
Basically, open up all of my brainwaves.
Hmm.
Every
Oh,
single one.
I don't think that Trill themselves are telepathic, as I understand it.
No. I'm
But-
not like extending it out. I'm basically meditating and opening up essentially a mental link with my symbiotes.
Oh,
No like external source going out. I just want to increase my brain waves to see if it reacts to that. To see if it senses brain waves. If that makes any sense.
that's fair. I'll tell you what. Give me a control plus command roll. And I'll just call this a difficulty 2 roll. We will treat this as you attempting to create an advantage that way.
May I use my conversation focus?
Well, if you can give me some words to exchange with your symbiotes, if you want to pick on anyone in particular.
I'm definitely gonna grab and try to get Yeldum's attention and say, "You will not believe the breakthrough that I have just gotten today." And if anybody else would like to join in, that's fine. I could see Romaldo because he's an explorer, and Lindell because he's always interested in my life. The others I don't really know because they're just artists, warriors, and diplomats.
Fair. I think that unless anyone else wants to voice in different things with this, I would suspect that Yeldon goes so far as to say, "You're doing solid B+ work," and a little more interest and like friendliness coming from Romaldo. Not to say Yeldon isn't necessarily against that. More that she wishes she had more facilities to study this herself. It is also, I think, a little good.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. That sounds perfectly like Yeldum.
Yep. It is also a little outside of her wheelhouse. She is more into the physics, chemistry, and some of those elements of harder sciences. Meanwhile, Lindell says, "Well, dear boy, you are doing quite the interesting bit of work here. I'd say that this is a bit beyond me here. I can't quite make heads or tails of it myself." The words seem to echo through your mind. But the others seem to think you may be onto something. With the intense focus that you are giving this, go ahead and give me that control plus command roll, please.
Ooh, that is not good.
No, that is a double 20 roll. That is not creating an advantage.
Yeah.
You do still have 2 points of momentum that I never dispense to anyone, so I suppose that you could buy one of those complications off, but let me ask, Traven, in whichever intermix you feel like, would you wish with those complications to either A, accept a narrative complication, B, give me 2 points of threat, or C, buy it off with momentum?
I can only buy one off with momentum, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna buy one off. No.
All right.
Oh, you've got 6 threat. Yeah, go ahead, take 2 more threat. It's not gonna change much.
I will take 6 points. I will take 2 additional points of threat for a total of 8. You can dispense the momentum that you have and run this off. I think that Traven, as you try to meditate on this to no effect, I think it's fair to say we can bounce around the ship. Tabak, did you want a scene here?
Sorry, unmute. Yeah, I think perhaps.
Okay.
You did say that the new doctor is on the bridge as well, correct?
Yes, allow me to move us back up to the bridge set here, and he has come in with an environmental suit earlier on, alongside. Well, the rest of you are now all suited up now. Vopri, Nogri, and yourself. You are thankful that Cheshire is not here right now, because even with
Because
training,
I don't want anybody to know what cat butt tastes like.
yeah. But yes, the doctor comes in and says, the doctor who, I think he's actually been pacing just a little bit by the controls here.
Okay.
Not
So,
yet being intrusive, beyond his mere being here.
Yep. Tabak's been sort of pacing himself and thinking. And Tabak says, "You two, clear the bridge. Doctor, I need a conversation."
Captain,
Clear the bridge.
Okay. Vopri will slink out of his seat and leave the room. Nogri will just say, "Sure thing, boss," and he will also leave. The bridge is at its emptiest as it's been in a while since it has been in active service. And you stand with Dr. Chucha.
I turn around to look at him. What kind of expression is on his face?
A kindly old but implacable sort of face. Are you under the impression that I had any knowledge of what was happening here, or how to get you out of this situation, Chakwi?
You gave me an injection to protect me from something that you didn't specify.
Well, I did not anticipate, nor did I have up-to-date medical knowledge as to the nature of whatever plague you seem to have happened upon. It seems
And you wouldn't tell me even if you had, would you?
If I thought there was serious medical danger in something, then I would have let you know. But I presumed that for the task for which you must serve, that you are up to the task, as is your crew. And indeed, now that you have the means to protect yourselves from environmental hazards, I see no reason why that could not resume.
Because the man I'm looking for is also infected. Anywhere I bring him will become infected.
Oh.
That ship down there grounded itself permanently in an effort to keep whatever that is from spreading off of this world. And now it's on my ship. My daughter is on this ship.
She did not seem to, as I understand it, she was not undergoing any sort of medical checkup with the physician for the remainder of the crew, as I understand it. Though if it is
We don't have a way to clear this off of the ship yet. You don't know anything. You don't have anything in your kit. You don't have any knowledge that you would be willing to share with Kresic.
Specific to this, I know of nothing I have that would equip him in a more unique manner to confront this type of challenge, Chakwi. I and those whom I serve, those whom you serve, expect a degree of ingenuity and capability from you.
Tabak just sort of looks directly at him, tilts his head to one side a little bit, and all right then. I thank you, Doctor, for your service to my family and my house and my world. You have been on Mektor for decades. Thank you for your service.
I serve the captain.
Tabak just sort of chews his own teeth for a second there.
I can
Yes.
imagine whatever sentence he had in mind, whatever invective or other offense, presuming there might have been more physical means, whatever sentiment there is felt firmly choked in the back of his throat or the back of his mind.
Honestly, he was done with invective and was pretty sure that physical violence would never be possible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he's just like, okay. Tug on the leash.
Oh.
And he just looks at the doctor. He just stares at him.
Oh.
With one eyebrow up, because Tabak has eyebrows that can actually move.
Yes. Well, no, if you're experiencing spasms, Chakwi, I have a relaxant that can be applied to cranial muscles on a local basis. Until then, I will simply I can conduct some more routine scans to ensure your health and safety. I would like you to be of sound mind as you plot the next team and their mission to be sent back down to the planet. We must all serve, you see.
You may leave the bridge, Doctor. I have things to do.
He nods. I serve the captain. And he'll turn and leave the bridge, leaving you on your own.
Tabak to Vopri. You may return. Bring the other one with you.
Okay. And yeah, the two will make their way back towards the bridge.
And Tabak, who has not been sitting in the captain's chair this whole time, sits down and just gives a very, very heavy sigh. And swears a couple of times under his breath.
Fair enough. With that quiet lament and with the ever-growing concern that you feel over the situation and how quickly it is deteriorating, I think that is where we will cut off for today's session. So yeah, For everyone in the archive, I hope that all of you have enjoyed that. We'll be coming back next time. I just need to take a look at one more thing here, because I might have made a mistake at the very beginning of this. Let's see here. That was just to confirm. Yeah, I'm thinking I might have. No, I didn't misspeak. This is indeed this is accurately part 4. Alright, well, this is where we will leave you off. If you ever want to join us live, then simply follow us here on twitch.tv/GM The Great Barrier. Link is in the description. We run these games live on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. If Saturdays in the afternoon, specifically 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, are more to your liking, come join us for Star Trek Adventures Aegis. We are coming back this weekend with our newest episode. But until then, we are going to leave off here. So we will see you later.